My name's Mervyn,
Yeah.
and I'm from London.
Yeah, my name is Adnan Sani Gambari, born in Ghana, and I'm a Ghanaian. I represent Africa.
My name is Daniel Lutz. I'm from South Africa.
My name is Gareth. I'm originally from Joburg, Gauteng, South Africa, and yeah, that's it.
My name is Al, and I'm from India, Mumbai.
我叫温迪，我家是河北的。
My name's Lenny. I'm from Swan Hill, Australia.
We get all sorts walking through these doors. Crazies, simpletons, assholes. Generally that's it, like everyone gets tattooed, you know?
From a walk-in base, you can do anything from outlines of Africa to an arrow, a couple of dots, things that are passing around, doing their rounds on Pinterest, on Instagram. Outlines of Africa would be the most common, I would say. But people have genuinely got good taste.
Wave and Sun, that's been a massive one the last year. I had some incredibly original girls coming in here a few months ago, because arrows have been a massive one as well recently. People love arrows, waves, suns, like that. And then you get someone coming and going, God, I've had this incredible idea. I want to have a wave, an arrow, and a sun. Gosh, that's just like, you've just made my day with that piece of wonderful originality. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Picturesque tattoos could be infinity symbols, can be some small flying birds or anything like that, which is kind of depressing if you're a tattooist, especially if you mean that I've got a master's from the Royal Academy of Arts in London. I've been studying making art for one way or another for 25 years, and you get someone asking you to make an infinity symbol. But we have to make a living, and as a tattooist, you're definitely not a fine artist, because you have to do what the skin wants, what the client wants. I'm luckier than most of the people working in the shop, because I think 80% of the tattoos I make would be traditional tattoos of my choice, my style, the way I painted them, done on people who live here. And then 20% of the tattoos I make are paying bills, and they're Pinterest tattoos.
Some people come to do tattoos on their face. Let's say you want to make stars, like 10 stars on your face. And I'm like, yo, have you thought about it? What kind of work do you do? Like, what are you studying at school? What do you want to be in the future? What will you do in the next 30 years with maybe your grandson looking at you with stars on your face, and they ask you, Granddad, what's up with the stars? And you have nothing to say about the stars. I think no, you have to go out. I'm born in Accra, and I'm a Accra boy, you understand? So it's about choosing where I want to be. And all that, sometimes I see people who come to have fun, they end up coming to my studio. Sometimes they are drunk, sometimes they are high, they are happy, so we want to get a tattoo. I say, okay, that's not it. A tattoo studio must be where you want to go there, you go there, it doesn't matter where it is.
喝醉了，他去找这个纹身师，然后纹的时候他喝醉了就睡着了，等他醒了之后，他就问这个纹身师：“你给我纹的谁？”就是他把他妈妈的照片交给这个纹身师，结果纹出来是这个样子，然后他就不知道他给纹身师给他纹的谁，后来就找我给他修改。这是同样的一张照片纹出来的，这是我帮他改的。外国人是这样子，给我的感觉啊，外国人对这个图的要求不是特别高，但是他只要喜欢，就不管这个图的内容啊，或者是忌讳啊什么，他就过来扎了。但咱们中国人不一样，中国大部分人他都会去想，我这个图的意义，我这个图纹了以后有什么忌讳。
Like Bok, the owner here, his price currently is $80 per hour, which to some people might sound expensive, but actually his quality of work of realism in Australia would probably be about $200 to $250 per hour. So it is like super cheap for his standard of work. But to some people they think that might sound quite expensive because you can go and buy a beer for $1, but you can't get a tattoo for $5. Yes, so we have two artists here, Kwok and Fook. Kwok specialises in realism and Fook specialises in black work. So pretty much anyone who comes in that wants either of those styles gets quite excited. Being Vietnam, and especially Ho Chi Minh, is quite a touristy city, and tattooing hasn't really taken off here so much for the locals. Most of the customers we have coming in are quite small things, travel tattoos, which are fine, but it doesn't give us really a chance to be able to show the artist's skill of doing realism work and black work. So when we do have customers come in that want to do realism tattoos or a black work tattoo, you know, that's quite exciting for us because it gives the artists the opportunity to show how good they really are at their own style.
When foreigners come in, they fuck my head, you know. They're like, do this, now another design, now another design, now another design, now another design. Then fuck you, I'm not doing it. Thank you very much. You're going home. Your name on guy's butt. So I was like, why you want to do your name? He was like, no, it's like a pickup line. So I would walk up to a chick and I would tell her like, I have your name tattooed on my ass.
Yeah, you get people just asking ridiculous stuff. Portraits on fingers, dog tattooed unicorns, like in a groin area on a woman. That was weird. Very weird. I've covered up a vagina tattoo on the armpit of like a 60-year-old man. Yeah, I don't know, people come up with some very weird ideas, you know, which I generally don't judge, I just try to push them in the right direction.
No one really wants a bad tattoo, you know, they're not aware of the cost, the time, the healing, the placement, what can and can't work, the skin tones. There's the process behind acquiring the work, and once they get educated on that, you'll find they walked in with a really strange idea and they left not only educated but with a great piece of work, you know, depending on which shop and how they were approached and what they approached.
Generally, like, people come in with their own ideas and it's the artist's like own interpretation that'll make the tattoo, you know.
Anything really creative, anything that you can see is going to push a boundary of some sort. If it be technical, like a dead straight line down the back, or a 15-headed dragon coming out the back of a knee in full color in the reflection of a teaspoon. You know, it really is broad in that sense.
When somebody comes up with something good, it's good because there's not much collaboration. I think in anything artistic, the more collaboration you have between the patron and the artist, the worse the thing gets. So when someone comes up with something good, it's because they're letting you do your thing. all he said was a fat Spanish lady. I drew up my idea of a fat Spanish lady, and he's just like, wow, that's it. That's the fat Spanish lady I was looking for. That's fantastic. And then, so that's the kind of client you want. You know, a client with maybe a couple of words. What's that? 3 Spanish words. Fat Spanish lady. Okay, that's a perfect amount of reference. You know, I mean, look at those boobies. If you love your job as a craftsman and you try and produce everything as well as you can, then you can end up not going insane producing things you don't want to do.
From a shop point of view, when you're working on a shop, as much as you want to specialize in something, and we are leaning towards that in the years to come in tattoo, but in a shop you have to really be open-minded about everything. Unless that's the way you want to go. If you start only doing one thing, you're going to find that you're going to struggle to do others with enjoyment. And the whole point of doing what we do is to enjoy what we do.
Custom tattoos is what I love doing. Something unique. Like I like something which is feast to the eye. Like my t-shirt is not fuck all, it's not feast to the eye. Like Pico is feast to the eye. You know, when you look at it, you feel happy. So I like doing tattoos which are feast to the eye. You know, a lot of people don't know the difference between open tattoo and closed tattoo. Like this is a closed tattoo. I can't see anything behind it. Whereas this is an open tattoo. So you can see the intricacies. Do open tattoos, which when you look at is feast to the eye. It's not like, okay, it could be done better. It could be like, wow, that is the best.
Whatever's happening in the world will generally be reflected in people's skin at one point or the other in the tattoo community. And I can't say that I've been studying it for any specific reason, but I'm sure if one does study it, you'll find that there is a definite flow and a pattern to as what is popular and what gets tattooed, and you can start sort of mapping the genres as to age groups, as to where you were. You know, you can go to the tribal stage where everyone's getting tribals, and then everyone's getting old school, and now it's black work and dark work, and in years to come, when obviously because a tattoo is there forever, you'll start seeing which part you sort of fit into, you know, what part people fit into.
就是欧美那边的纹身都基本上以写实东西会比较多，写实的人物啊，写实的花卉啊，就哪怕鱼啊，它也以写实的会做的多一些。日本呢，它是受他们的那个浮世绘风格的影响，所以他们会像他们那个文化多一些。但我们中国呢，还是中国风会多一些。
When you start getting tattooed, you're liable to get several different kinds of tattoos that look like this, tattoos that look like that. Over the years, living with those tattoos, you start to see more clearly the tattoos that satisfy you. I think when you first come from an art background, you don't really appreciate a traditional tattoo, particularly. You don't see the nuances in it. Traditional tattooing is about tattooing. You have to, I think, tattoo for some time and live with tattoos for some time to really start appreciating what is a traditional tattoo and why it is the best thing to put on your skin rather than any other sort of tattoo. In my last shop, there was a large local Spanish community in the area, and it was really difficult to try and get traditional tattoos to be made. People wanted a lot of black and grey, religious, iconic kind of work. I got very good at doing it thanks to that, which was quite funny. I think it's a good skill base I've got now. I can make as good a version as anybody, I think.
Well, I'd say like there's a lot of black and grey. I find South Africans are a lot more traditional, which is quite nice, you know, so you get a lot of praying hands, you still get like a nice amount of skulls. You know, you don't have people wanting like all this weird hyper-realism that's going to look really shit in like, 5 years time. You got people that want like nice real tattoos, which is nice. There's a nice balance to tattooing, you know, you got to struggle through the shit to get to the gold, essentially.
You know, if an artist is supplied with good canvas, good paints, good brushes, and an environment that supports growth in the industry, obviously the art's going to excel as well. Whereas you find we get a bit more of a watered down version of that through having limited access to materials. So you will see a lot of good artists in South Africa, but if you look at the size and influence of your European and American artists, obviously they'll be a lot more dominant.
原来在监狱的时候，他们监狱的狱友给他拿那个针缝衣服的针给他纹的，就纹成这种。后来胸口也给他改了一下子。
As a tattoo artist, I push my system, I push my made in Ghana tattoos. I want our traditional symbols and our artworks to get out there, so we can also have the difference, like the way people are buying traditional Chinese designs and traditional Chinese symbols. And in Ghana, every clan also have a symbol that represents them. So sometimes if you want to get a tattoo, you look into yourself, you look into where you're from and all that, you get a tattoo.
Most Vietnamese people that you see with a lot of tattoos generally will be involved in some sort of gang or some sort of violence, drugs and that sort of thing. And it's not so much an art form yet, but I think we'll see in the next like 10 to 15 years that there'll be more people getting tattoos for art and that sort of thing. As far as tattoos in the Vietnamese culture itself, I haven't really noticed it really exists yet. You hear about people having like a Japanese leg piece or something like that. I've generally never heard of anyone having like a Vietnamese sleeve or anything like that. But that is something in this studio we're wanting to grow, and we've really encouraged.
中国纹身是受日本纹身影响是最大的，因为中国起步刚刚开始的时候是学的台湾人，台湾先学的日本，然后我们中国再学的台湾。现在中国呢做纹身也这么多年了，他已经开始走了自己的路。外国人喜欢在中国就是纹一些大字啊，或者是国画啊、水墨画啊、工笔画啊，这些都很多人喜欢。
I want to generate designs of Indian culture. You know, a lot of tourists come in over here. I want to attract them in the form of my tattoos. It could be henna, which could be a mandala. Sometimes it could be a Maori tattoo. And in Maori tattoo, sun is for victory, turtle is for long life, gecko is for supernatural powers. So I like to do tattoos which are meaningful. Anything unique, tweak it a little. You know, cook your food in a different oyster sauce. Make it different.
Yeah, there's also like a difference between tattooing like a black person, an Afrikaans person, a coloured person, or like an English person, because they're all like, you know, they've been brought up differently, so there's different values that get added to their tattoo ideas, you know.
You know, the black skin and the white skin, when you talk about colors, some colors don't show up as it shows on the white skin. So my tattoos are strong black lines. So I mostly work on tribals, I work on traditional African symbols like the Adinkra symbols.
Dark is a challenge, but I do it because it's a strain to the eye. I almost have tears and my back goes for a toss. There's different shades of skin. So tattooing on fairer skin is much easier. That's why abroad, it's very easy to blend in colors, but very difficult to blend in colors on dark skin.
Like, you explain it to from an artistic point of view and everyone's fine with it, you know. Yeah, so like the African guys tend to go for more like bigger solid black kind of work, you know, like more traditional tattoos, and then like the white guys here go for that sketchy type of vibe. You know, I think art's also kind of, maybe it sounds very cliche, but it kind of transcends race, so you know, you can't come in here and be a racist. It's just wrong and stupid.
So basically I want to say, like, I want to get all kind of blue, black, white, red, yellow, all kind of.
Any closing statements, remarks? Yeah, that traditional tattoos are best, and that would be that.
People that love tattoos, and they know why they get them.
Is do something with the meaning. If you can't do something with the meaning, do something beautiful.
中国的毛笔字，这就是一种特点，对不对？
We want the customer to leave happy, obviously. A tattoo is something that you have for the rest of your life, so find a studio that's suitable for you and just make sure you don't get stuck in a studio that's just cares about money, because they do exist in Ho Chi Minh, unfortunately. You're going to want to find something where you can sit down and have a chat with the artist and work out exactly what you want.
All South African tattoos are kif. And yeah, just come enjoy it, get a rad tattoo in a rad setting. You know, like most studios in Cape Town are super dope, super chill. You know, there isn't too much ego, not too much bullshit, which is very nice.
Other than support your tattoo artist, don't be a cheapskate, you know, tip the motherfucker. And yeah, this isn't a bargain hunt. We're all artists. there's not much else to say.